Here is your latest African news. Africa-wide, Afcon highlights. Ivory Coast thumped Algeria 3-1 to send the defending champions crashing out of the Africa Cup of Nations finals following a disastrous Group E campaign. Gambia beat Tunisia 1-0 while Equatorial Guinea beat Sierra Leone 1-0, with Mali beating Mauritania 2-0 in the closing match of the day. The knockout stage will resume on Sunday, the 23rd of January. The teams will be Burkina Faso vs Gabon, while Nigeria will face Tunisia later in the day. We wish all the teams the best of luck. Mali. UN Mali mission to resume flights suspended amid sanction dispute. The United Nations peacekeeping mission in Mali has said it will resume flights after they were grounded over the weekend in the wake of economic sanctions against the West African country. West Africa's main political and economic bloc levied broad sanctions against Mali earlier this month after its military-led interim government announced plans to postpone a planned February election by nearly 4 years. The sanctions included closing its members' air and land borders with Mali. MINUSMA has more than 13,000 troops in the north and center of Mali. Mali is now demanding 48 hours of advance notice for flights and surveillance drones. Africa-wide. Africa will only accept COVID-19 vaccines with longer shelf life, Africa CDC. Africa's top health organizations have called for donated COVID-19 vaccines to come with a shelf life of at least 3 to 6 months to enable beneficiary countries to have enough time to plan and execute a rollout before they expire. John Ngengasong, director of the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, this week said 2.8 million doses of vaccine had expired on the continent, roughly 0.5% of the accumulated 572 million doses donated so far. Ngengasong explained that the expired doses are usually among those donated by individual countries or via the Global Vaccine Sharing Scheme COVAX, which arrive with very short notice. In contrast, doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine acquired by African countries via a scheme organized by the 55-member African Union and delivered with a longer shelf life had not expired. He said some countries are now refusing to accept vaccines when they saw that the shelf life was only 1 or 2 months. Ghana. Ghana blast. Many fear dead after huge explosion in Bogoso. At least 17 people have been killed in a huge explosion near a mining town in western Ghana, officials say. Police say a vehicle carrying mining explosives collided with a motorcycle near the town of Bogoso. Images shared by local media showed a large plume of black smoke rising above destroyed buildings and scattered debris as residents called for help. At least 59 people were injured, some of whom were in critical condition. Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah said. Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo said the military had joined emergency efforts to help contain the situation, and the country's disaster management agency had been tasked to bring rapid relief to residents. In an emergency notice, police say the huge explosion had occurred between Bogoso and the village of Baudi. Burkina Faso. Facebook shut down in Burkina Faso due to security reasons. Authorities in Burkina Faso say they have blocked access to Facebook for security reasons. Government spokesman Al-Kassoum Maïga said the government did not have to comment on the cause of the blockade, which began on January 10th. On January 11th, the government announced the arrest of 8 soldiers in connection with the development, which the country's media described as a coup attempt. Internet rights group NetBlock says there was a significant internet outage on January 11th. The alleged killing of 53 people by suspected jihadists last November has sparked public outrage at the government and has heightened fears of a military coup in the country. Africa-wide. Lazare Assomo appointed as first African head of UNESCO'S World Heritage. UNESCO's Director General Audrey Azoulay has appointed Lazare Assomo as Director of the UNESCO World Heritage Center. Originally from Cameroon, Mr. Assomo is a graduate in architecture and in urban planning. He joined UNESCO in 2003 in the African unit of the World Heritage Center, where he contributed to the creation of the African World Heritage Fund and the development of the World Heritage Earth and Architecture Program. From 2008 to 2013, he was head of the African unit of the World Heritage Center. He then became UNESCO's head representative in Mali, while the country was hit by a violent armed conflict. He was in charge of the protection of Mali's cultural heritage. He successfully led the reconstruction of the Timbuktu Mausoleum and the safeguarding of ancient manuscripts. efforts, he returned to UNESCO headquarters in Paris in 2016, initially as Deputy Director of the Heritage Division and of the World Heritage Center. In 2018, he became Director of Culture and Emergencies, coordinating emergency conservation responses to heritage sites affected by conflict and disasters, until his recent appointment. Nigeria targets illegal oil refining, Soot pollution. The Nigeria Delta Environmental Group, the Environmental Rights Action Friends of the Earth Nigeria, has applauded the current action taken by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State to address the ongoing issue of oil theft and refining of stolen crude oil and the consequential release of soot into the environment. In the last 5 years, the group had been engaged in sustained research and advocacy with the aim of getting the different tiers of government and its regulatory institutions to take decisive actions to halt the persistent ambient air pollution witnessed in Rivers State. The environmental body noted that although artisanal refining of stolen crude oil is indicated as the current accelerator of soot and ambient air pollution in the Niger Delta region, it is also important to point out that decades of reckless exploration and production activities by multinational companies such as Shell, ill-maintained oil pipes and facilities, routine gas flaring, and lax regulatory frameworks are responsible for the dangerous situation in which millions of people who reside in the Niger Delta region now find themselves in. Kenyan elephant makes history with rare birth. A Kenyan elephant has made history at a conservancy in Samburu after giving birth to twin calves. The birth of the twins was celebrated by Tourist Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala and zoologists who acknowledged that this is a first in more than a decade. Save the Elephants, a conservation NGO, noted that their occurrence is a rare one since such births make up only 1% of all elephant deliveries. Zoologists further explained that twin births are not the norm among elephants since the mother does not have enough milk to cater for the calves. The newborns are in good health at the moment and further revealed that they were smaller compared to other elephant calves. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share and like this video. It's the best way of supporting us. Also, don't forget to catch the return of our show Africa in the News on our channel. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a Patreon and donating. And remember, Africa is watching.